Hey guys, another wild day in the market today. The Dow, last night opening up down red. It ended off the day green today. But we're talking about GameStop in this particular video because it's been a wild day for GameStop. If you're holding, you got diamond hands. Nothing else I can really say about that. This stock has, it's peaked up at nearly $500 per share last week. And now we're down about half of that, around $225 per share. But in the last trading day, just today, we're down 30%. Is everything lost now for GameStop? Are we done? The story over? Did the retail investors lose? I don't think so. And I'm going to show you a few charts as to why, this may not be the end of the story here. So we can see after hours, the stock sold off a little bit more, down another 3% or so. It's at around 218. It's kind of been holding this level for most of the day between 220 to 240, 250. It's kind of been holding sideways. A lot of people are questioning whether they should be selling out right now, and I want to point out a few things to you guys. So here we have GameStop's chart on TradingView. If you want to sign up for TradingView, I do have an affiliate link down below. It's probably the best charting software that I could find with all the indicators and stuff that I use. And essentially what I've seen here is that yes, this stock has moved up massively, and now we're kind of on a sell-off. However, typically when we see these sort of sell-offs, volume is extremely strong, but what we've been seeing the last few days is very low volume. This is a combination of brokers restricting shares on GameStop. You're only allowed to buy one share up until today. We'll talk about that in a few minutes here, but they were allowing you to sell it, but they weren't allowing you to buy to average down or to build up your position. That kind of gave us a skewed view on this stock. You can see volume has just been on the decline the last few days. So while it's selling off, this could mean that the stock is actually consolidating at this point, guys. It could mean that. I'm not saying that's for certain. I'm not saying you should go throw your life savings into the stock, because that's definitely not what we do on this channel. However, I don't think that all hope is lost, and I think this may just be a little bit of a consolidation phase before we could possibly burst higher. The reason I say that is because these short sellers, they're going to have to pay up and cover their shorts at some point. They're still heavily shorted in the stock. They still have to pay billions on billions of dollars to cover their positions. So sooner or later, something has got to give. And if retail investors are buying shares and they're holding, so you can see the massive volume going into this. Volume coming out, it's nowhere near as high. So retail investors seem to be holding the line as you see on Wall Street Bets. And the guy who started all of this is still at the forefront. So here on Wall Street Bets, after market close today, DFV, the guy who pretty much, figured out this loophole and essentially started this revolution here with GameStop, posted that he is still in this stock. This is as of Feb 1st, that's today. He is up $21 million in this stock. Today he lost around $5.1 million in combinations from his stock and his options. But guys, this just tells you that, if he's willing to lose $5 million in a day, he probably has some conviction that this is going much higher, or has a good probability of going much higher. Now, I know some of you are kind of in the camp where, hey, I got my gains. I don't know, I lose it all on GameStop. I don't think that the possibility of losing everything on GameStop is a reality anymore. This business has raised capital. This business has, it's starting to turn things around. So I don't think it's going to go to zero. However, there's a good possibility you could lose like 70, 80, 90% of your capital depending on how things play out. But I was reading around this weekend, and I did see some reports on, possible price targets on GameStop. This is well before all of the short squeeze. Some people had it around, a couple $100. So it's not that unreasonable in the grand scheme of things. Now, you guys know me, I'm a value investor, and I like to look for value in the markets. Right now, GameStop is at a $15 billion market cap, so it's not small, because it was at a few hundred million last year. It's not large either, but if their business is actually able to justify this over the long term, if Wall Street Bets continues to hold, and you get comments like this, he's still in, I'm still in. If this continues, there aren't that many shares out there for these shorts to purchase back to cover their positions, and we could see what we saw last week, which is a massive run up. Because the way this works is that when they want to cover, they need to buy back their shares, and if they say they want to buy it back but no one's willing to sell, then they got to put a higher price and a higher price and a higher price until someone finally bites. And that could result in rallies like this, a couple 100% in a day. Like it's not out of the realm of happening again, especially since we've seen volume, like I said, just decline over time. So keep an eye on this, and I'll share with you guys some I may have done something, so I'll let you know towards the end of this video, so stick around for that. Okay, the next thing I want to briefly touch upon is Robinhood. So the first thing is that they have actually been raising a lot of money the last few days, and I kind of posted this in my Discord right here. You guys can see in the Discord, Robinhood eases trading restrictions. This is one part of the story. They're actually limiting GameStop up to 20 shares now. It's a raise from 1. So who knows? We may see a bump up in the stock tomorrow just on this news alone, as more retail investors are able to buy more if you're still in Robinhood. But funny enough, I heard on CNBC that they got a record number of signups last week, like 600,000 signups, or somewhere around there. They had a record number of new account signups last week on Robinhood. So while the whole delete Robinhood movement is going, it seems like some of the new investors they don't really know the whole story. They haven't really taken the time to understand what's going on, and they're signing up for Robinhood regardless of what they did last week and what they're still doing right now with GameStop, and it is what it is right now. Now, what I do want to really just focus on quickly is this right here. $3.4 billion in total since last Thursday is what Robinhood has raised from new venture capital funds. Now, the CEO did come out and say that the NSCC, the National Securities Clearing Corporation, required Robinhood to post $3 billion in deposits, and this is why they really had to go out there, scramble, and kind of pull out money to cover all the purchases that were coming in. And this is ironic because in an interview last week, the CEO pretty much said, hey, we don't have a liquidity problem, we're fine. We're just doing this as a precautionary measure. But now we're finding out that was a lie. They actually did need to do this because they were kind of demanded to post a certain amount of money in there. And I don't know, guys. It's kind of ruining his reputation here. He's the face of Robinhood. I don't know how long he's going to remain the face if the company actually wants some sort of success moving forward. But we'll see how all of this plays out. Now, I told you that I wanted to mention something here in regards to GameStop. So I may have made a purchase in GameStop today. I think this is a complete gamble. I think this is probably going to be, over time, a stock that gets hit pretty hard once, things start balancing themselves out and, things start leveling out really. But I wanted to just show my support. I know a lot of you on the channel are standing behind this movement. I know I've been very vocal on this movement, and I wanted to have a small position here just to kind of stamp my seal on history. Just, hold GameStop shares, and, it'll be an interesting story later on. Who knows where this stock goes? This is not money that I'm expecting to make any cash on. I'm not really expecting to double, triple, whatever my money from here. If I really want to do that, I should have bought in a long time ago, and I fully acknowledge that. It's more for just holding a company that's changing the investing world really indirectly. Like GameStop themselves, they're not doing anything, but it's the movement with GameStop. It's the fact that retail investors now have a voice. It's the fact that, the big guys don't always have to win. And who knows, maybe this is kind of a one-stop thing. Maybe this is kind of like every retail investor gets screwed over in the end. I don't know how it plays out. I only put in money that I'm willing to completely lose, and it's a very tiny portion of my capital. I just wanted to have a small position. But I just want to throw it out there and just let you guys know that yes, I am fully on board for this cause, and I do support what's happening right now. And I think the financial system does need to change to be more transparent, to have retail investors and hedge funds on the same level playing field, and hopefully something comes out of this and we make history together. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.